3. And hello, the stream has started.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
dearies.
It is an Aeon.
Hello, Krim.
Oh.
You guys are a bit low, so I'm just gonna turn you up.
No problem.
And while we wait, when should I say his pony name or his real name when
Pony name is like he's usually known as that.
Yeah, to the editor.
Yeah.
Okay, when he joins us, I have this usual question I ask new people if they're comfortable answering, so we will do that then. But for now, I will just ask, how has your guys' days been?
It's been all right. I tried to chill out for most of today. Managed to get some work done though, and I finally finished the water type Pokemon for my little art series that I'm doing right now.
Aww.
Well, Fakemon.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have a Frasier. Hello, Frasier. Thank you so much. And Bright Idea. And Donnie T.
Hey,
Tiger?
Hey, Bright. It's been like 2 seconds, but hello.
It's been 2 seconds. God.
Thank you so much for hosting.
Here, I'm just looking at the chat right now just to see what's up.
Yeah. I'm currently posting that we are live in all the different Discord servers I'm in. Oh.
Yeah, I'm I have the I shared it on Twitter.
Thank you.
Yeah, I might leave at the same time Joe does, or at the editor does.
Ah. Okie dokie. Well.
I hope that's okay.
Yeah. That's okay. Either it will be a very short stream or it will be an Aeon and Chris stream.
Right.
We will see how it goes. No worries.
Yeah.
Welcome to a flitter moment where time flitters by with a short stream.
Oh no.
Right. Oh god. Yeah. So, how have you been doing?
Are you talking to me or Aeon?
Yes.
Both. Okay. Marvelous.
I'm pretty good. Just chilling right now. How about you, Chris?
As you know, Aeon, I have been lucky enough to spend this weekend at my dearest place because I'm trying to get this wonky ponky sleepy sketchy back on track. Meh. It's been going better than normally. Hey, Mushy! Hey, Dusk!
Hello, Dusky Dew.
It's been going better than if I stayed at the farm. Ooh, stuff has happened. Thank you so much for following, Nelson Demifer. What's happening? Ah, Dusk player, Red Dreaming Suni. Thank you so much for following. Ah, even more. Our bright idea is now following. Thank you so much. I lost my track of point. What's the question?
The Blueberry. Hello, Blueberry Aeon editor 2. Editor's not here yet. Krim, you're too quiet. Damn, dude.
You sound fine to me.
All right.
Turn
the
you up,
demon
up,
who
up, turn
possesses
you up,
your
up.
soul. Turn it up, up, turn it up, up. I'm on fire. Cause I'm going up. God damn.
Don't start with High School Musical. I only know 2 songs.
That's not even High School Musical though.
No, but if you go up to the top and turn.
God damn it.
And I'm just like, no.
Up, I'm on fire.
Oh god. I'll try to turn up my volume a bit more.
I did turn you up on my end, so hopefully
Okay.
that worked, because now you're a lot clearer and taller and higher and everything that they consider with a higher volume, I hope.
Right. Jesus, that is the master volume for everything else. Jesus Christ, it's loud. Yeah, I can't turn the mic up any louder than it is. Sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, like, thank you for loud noises. Yes, very loud noises.
Yeah. Let me know if it's too high, and
Do you have an edit?
I believe that is an editor.
editor, hello.
Who's an editor? I don't know no editor.
Oh, are we going British?
It's hard for me to go British because I'm already British.
Hola, mi amor, ¿cómo estás?
It's
Hello,
a
baby.
banana.
It's a banana. No, it's a
Banana.
it's a
Bananas
banana,
and
darling.
muffins.
It's a banana, darling, and then muffins and crumpets. Ugh.
God damn it.
Oh boy.
You'd think
So
I'd be used to
fucking
this by now.
Nope. Oh boy. And I was about to say, like, yeah, if we're gonna start talking languages, like, okay, skal jeg bare begynne å snakke norsk, eller skal jeg begynne å snakke svenska? Skal vi se kunne hoppe i gårde? Det skal gå hen. So that's
Is that Norwegian?
First it was Norwegian, and then it became Swedish.
Ah, sorry.
I knew
I'm a dumb American who lives in California. I only know that of Spanish and English.
I wouldn't call that dumb. I would call that multi-language person. So no worries.
Bilingual,
Mul-
yeah.
I'm not bilingual. I'm not bilingual by any means.
But you know 2
I wish.
languages.
Bilingual means that you know all of the idiosyncrasies that come with
You can speak it fluently and have a conversation.
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Including a lot of the colloquialisms.
Yeah, because I was just like, okay, that's some big English words I never heard before. What does that mean?
I mean, to be fair, different places in England have different colloquialisms, so I suppose I can bilingual.
What is it?
Yeah,
No,
not really. Sorry.
What did you say?
Oh no, I was mimicking. There was like some English accent that you guys told me about where they removed the e's, and then someone later, unrelated, made a Top Gear meme where they said "tonight on Top Gear," only they removed all the vowels.
Oh,
and put
that's
apostrophes everywhere.
yeah. That's not just the people. That's the entire north of England. Like, completely got rid of the e's. So, say like you want to watch Narnia, which is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They'd be going like, "What do you want to watch tonight?" I want to watch Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe.
Yeah. Hvorfor da, yeah?
I want to watch the Quentin Tarantino film of Good to Bad and to Ugly.
Ja, altså,
I don't want to listen to my favorite music band of Tut.
Ja, altså, nå skal jeg bare begynne å slå helt over på norsk, for dette her forstår ikke jeg en tittel. Ja. Exactly.
Tittle tootle.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah?
God damn.
Try to keep swearing at the minimum. It is rated as family friendly.
Oh, sorry. Gosh darn it.
Pony feathers.
Golly gosh.
Bucket. We're doing it live.
Yes.
Bucket.
Bucket.
Replace
My
the E
fair.
another letter, and you will get the reference. You, like Captain America, you shall understand this reference.
Oh God. Has anybody been watching some of the recent Marvel stuff that's been coming out lately?
I haven't seen WandaVision, unfortunately. No.
I know I want to, but I haven't gotten the time for it.
That's fair.
Unfortunately, I don't get the time to do. I don't get the time to watch the stuff either. The only time I ever get off to watch stuff is with you, babe.
No.
That's adorable.
The last Disney thing or Disney show that I watched, not even Marvel, just Disney, was the obvious answer: The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of that. I hear that it's good up until the end. Much like much like Game of Thrones.
No, I've heard it's still good to the end.
I mean, to be fair, it hasn't finished its third. It hasn't started its third series yet.
Season?
Season, yeah.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but I think The Mandalorian is good all the way through.
Yeah, I haven't heard many complaints, and I certainly don't have any.
I've been really enjoying WandaVision. And actually, because of class, I have had to expand my film tastes because I am a filthy casual.
What?
You are a filthy casual?
You calling yourself a normie?
Yeah, a little bit.
What?
You are not a normie.
But don't insult yourself, please, sweetie. No.
I don't
There is
insult
nothing-
myself.
Babe,
I'm
there
still
is
the hottest
nothing
thing in this
normal
room.
about you.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, there's nothing normal about you.
Thank you, honey. That makes me feel so good about myself.
You're
I don't
welcome.
like other girls.
Oh God.
I have snake hands.
You left it wide open for that.
Oh my God. I'm not like other girls. I like listen to vinyl and I dye my hair and I don't listen to anything that's before like the 85.
I'm
The 85.
What? What?
In the summer of '85.
Oh, good song. Brian Adams, good song.
I think I chose the right pony photo for myself this time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because
Confused.
Yes, confused. Ah.
Okay.
Dusk, what do you mean by is it a Chris or is it a Chris? Like, what do you mean?
Well, okay, here's what she means. I can
What?
clarify this because I was curious too. Some of us were pronouncing your name Krids, and I was calling it Kriz.
Ah.
So she was wondering which was the correct pronunciation from in
Chris.
your eyes. Oh, so just hard Z like Kriz.
Yeah, Chris. Yes.
Okay, I was
I was gonna
right.
say-
Cool.
Haha,
Cool.
Dusk, I was right.
I was gonna say because when you've got animals, you don't call them a lizard, do you? You call them a lizard.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
not
I have
a
one of.
lizard.
Yes.
To be fair,
I
I
am
have
a
this
lizard.
I used to have a lizard. I miss that lizard very much.
Aw.
She was a very nice lizard, but apparently she got very depressed after trying to be fed a pinky.
No.
Pinky.
A pinky and the brain.
brain.
Okay,
Oh,
I was going. Okay, so your lizard became Pinkie Pie.
No,
I thought you were
a
talking
pinky.
about a finger.
As in the
No,
finger.
No, Pinky. Pinky is the name of what you call baby rats or baby
Oh.
mice
Did
because
not
they're
know.
pink.
Oh, I did not know that.
I
I was
think
on
Yeah,
about
you-
I got really depressed because I couldn't eat my owner's finger.
No, she was a very sweet little thing. She liked to hang out on your chest mostly because that's where the most warmth was.
Oh, yeah. I remember having rats as a kid myself. Oh, I really miss that.
Yeah. We just decided that we were not good for lizards. Like we're dog people.
Ah.
What kind of a lizard
Well,
was it?
you know, if you get a big enough lizard, it kind of is like a dog.
No, not like
yeah,
we
yeah,
had
get a
baby
Komo- yeah.
lizards.
I was gonna say get a Komodo dragon. That's about the same size
No,
as a dog.
fuck you. I'm fudge.
Thank
But
you.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's
so
okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
What if you
Sometimes it
get a-
takes time to get into the safe for work or safe for Chris.
This is actually entertaining.
What if you get a Norwegian forest cat? They're literally as big as dogs.
Yeah, true.
Really?
Yeah.
I am allergic to cats though.
Oh, it's
Aw.
hyperallergenic. Don't worry.
There's no
It's-
such thing.
There is, but some people still react to them either way.
No, hypoallergenic means that there's no such thing as a hypoallergenic cat or dog because what you're allergic to is not its fur. It's not dandruff. It is their saliva. So unless you have a cat that has no tongue or doesn't produce saliva, then you do not have a hypoallergenic cat.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say because by that theory, then you shouldn't be allergic to those cats that look like their owners have shaved them.
Oh, poor kitties.
Thanks.
But the thing is,
Yes.
I have 2 friends, and I know of a few other peoples that are, what they say, allergic to cats. But
Mhm.
they can get licked by their cats and have no trouble at all. But they
Mm-hmm.
have the the
Allergenic.
type of cats, and they have no trouble. But if they go close to a normal cat, as they say, they get rashes, have trouble breathing, all
It
that
could be
stuff.
that they're because it's not impossible to be legitimately only allergic to the fur as opposed to the saliva. So it could be they're just legitimately allergic to non-hypoallergenic fur as opposed to the saliva.
Yeah.
Mm.
Allergies exist for everything, so it's a
Yeah,
little bit presumptuous to just write it all off as, oh, this can't happen.
yeah. Like
And yet,
Yeah.
I have a
I
friend
know that
that's
there's this.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
No. You were starting to speak.
Just wanted to point out. I have another friend that is allergic to a lot of different food stuff, including egg, rice, and what's it called again? Of course, milk and gluten. What
Well, they're
was?
lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called
Gluten
again?
is something else, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the. I can't pronounce it in English. The one that makes flour bread stuff.
Gluten.
Yeast.
Yeast.
Yeah, yeast
gluten.
too. Yeast too. What was the last?
That's gluten. Yeah.
Citrus fruits.
That's an oddly specific one, actually. I've
Yeah.
never heard of that.
It's I couldn't I am not very I couldn't have a mandarin next to her and open it without her getting rashes and stuff. So I felt really
Yeah.
bad for her, but she got really creative in the cooking though. That was nice.
That's good.
So what were you
That's
saying?
nice. I was saying that I'm technically lactose intolerant.
Hmm?
My body hates me for it, but I don't care.
Well, my inner homeopathic doctor wants to say that try to listen to it, because if you continue down the road of eating too much to it, it can develop into something more severe and can be dangerous for your life as you get older and older. And normally I would mean older and older by 70, 80, 90 years old. Not yet. So, and me myself also is allergic to the milk protein and the flour stuff.
Funny thing is, I am also allergic to cats and dogs, but I still have my dog. I just have to clean.
What?
I am. I went to the doctor to do that needle thing. You know what I mean? When they poke your back.
Acupuncture?
No, not well. It's like they basically put like chemicals or that product on your skin. They poke a hole. They poke you on the back for like extended periods of time, and then mark what you're allergic to based on the reactions of each of them.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Never heard of that before.
And technically speaking, I am allergic to cats and dogs. But
I don't care.
but A, I don't care. B, my dog is lovely and I will be darned if anybody were to take them away from me.
Of course.
Your dog is just like a giant goldfish.
It is,
What?
but my dog Bo, he's
her dog Bo is just like a giant goldfish. He just flops around wherever he can find a place to lie and doesn't really do anything.
He does do things, but the problem is that he likes to do food. He likes to eat food without us knowing.
Sounds like an opportunistic doggo you have there.
Yeah, it's a doggo that thinks it's a doggo that's part fish and goat.
Oh, interesting.
Yee. I know I'm not allergic to any animals per se, nor am I allergic to any particular food. I did find out when I was hospitalized, I am apparently allergic to a medication called Zyprexa, but that's the only allergy I know I have.
Zyprexa.
So you found out that it wasn't right for you.
No. It's antipsychotic. So like typically, if you're talking like mental medication, not right for you just means your brain doesn't like it, not that you're physically allergic to it.
Yeah, no, I was making a joke.
Oh no, you're good. I'm just saying that like in the context of this, it's like this one was like some people noticed like, hey, I feel kind of weird because never get on those. You feel like really weird. And then they're like, hey, your face looks kind of weird.
Wow,
And this was one
rude.
of the people who was still connected to reality, so I'm just like, huh. And yeah, I'm like, got some highs and my throat was burning, and I was like, went to the nurse and I was like, hey, I think I may be allergic to this. And they're like, yeah, I think you're right.
Aw.
Excellent deduction, doctor. Absolutely excellent.
Marvelous.
Usually I get a
it
pay
was
raise for
actually
this.
the doctor who looked at it and was just like, oh, I'm gonna get you some allergy meds. Be right back.
Let's hear,
Oof, though.
questions from the chat.
Yeah, we have the first one is from Noah021. Question for the editor and Aeon of Dreams. What is your favorite My Little Pony collab review? I think that was the
Wait,
first.
the ones that we've done?
Yeah.
Or
They doesn't
Should we just do
specify.
both?
He's asking you an editor.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying should we do both? Like favorite we've been a part of and favorite that we have not been.
Sure.
Okay. Ed, do you want to go first or should I go first?
on a personal level, then, honestly, my favorite collab has got to be the one that I did with Ripple Effect. Because Krim and I had this ritual of every time the new episode came out, we made a point on a Sunday to watch it, and at that point, season 8, I think it was. I think it was season 8.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, every episode 1 to 5, I absolutely despised, and I was really honestly like, well, Krim was looking forward to episode 6, and I was just like, can we probably just watch something else? Because every episode so far has just been terrible. We finally watched episode 6. My God, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was the one where it was Surf and or Turf, where they go where they have. It's basically the beach episode where they have like go into the trees and fly with the hippogriffs, and then go under water to see equestrian and stuff like that. And my God, I could not shut up praising that episode. And then at the end, I literally fangasmed because I found out that a Warhammer 40k voice actor is in that episode.
Yep. you wouldn't shut up about it for like I think 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like while we were watching the episode too. We had it paused.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I think it was near the end. It was just like, okay, so I know that voice. Where is it? Brian Dobson. No.
Oh God.
And then Ripple decided to draw up Brian Dobson's character dressed up as a space wolf.
Yes. The fanboy was strong with this one that day.
Oh my God! And I stand by what I say. Surf and or Turf is my third favorite episode in that entire show.
Nice.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I think my favorite collab that I've been a part of, and it has to be, okay, it has to be an MLP collab. Okay, that's good to that actually is good to specify. Darn, it's been really long since I've been in a collab with someone. I think I remember. Yeah, I know I have. I have to check, but I actually have to check because I usually didn't do a lot of episode collaboration. Or like fan stuff. So let me quickly find. I know I did a couple. I thought I did a couple with Lightning Bliss at one point. I typically work with her a lot, as everyone here probably knows. So it usually typically most episode collabs with her I would do. I typically tend to like all of mine, which I know is a cheating answer, but that's usually because I wasn't usually. Well, here's the thing: I usually wasn't brought on to do all that many of them. So they, though I really appreciated that I was in a few of them. I'll put it like that. I know that's cheating, but I really haven't looked at it in a while.
No, that's fine.
Personally wise though, if I were to go for you, I would honestly say my favorite one you've ever been in, Aeon, was that one where you and Josh did a video together.
Yes. Oh, those were. Yeah. No. Okay. I have a memory jog now. That one was really fun. That was every little thing she does.
Yes. The parents, like, was it? No, it was the Starlight episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, because me and Josh actually really like Starlight as a character, so most of it was spent gushing, and I used it as an excuse to just whip out this, like, sort of well, not really nitpicky, but obviously we're doing it just for exaggerated fun, sort of ramble about every little thing, and I remember I think I was particularly proud of the one with the photography, because I used to take photography as an elective, and I know that's such like a minor thing to observe in a collab, but I'm just like, hey, wait a minute. Everything I know about photography says this monster would have totally seen Big Mac. Why is he alive?
Dun, dun, dun.
And who took this picture, and why did they doom Big Mac?
So, I don't think I've seen that episode. Maybe I can check it out later. Ska vi se. That was the MLB. And final sight, as always, ask, is a tradition. What should be the week's sponsor? And I'm just like, let's see what pops up, okay? Ska vi se. Wushi asked, are you guys into monster movies? I don't like scary movies, so they can be interesting, but no. What about you guys?
I actually like monster movies.
There you go.
What categorizes exactly as a monster movie?
Also,
that's a good point.
If you count the Monster Inc., then yeah, sure. But,
yeah, I was gonna say because there's monsters in cartoon movies.
Yeah, but
So...
if you like Godzilla or like Godzilla,
like a kaiju movie. Does that count?
Yeah,
I was gonna say yeah, because
kaiju's kind of its own category, but it's still a monster movie, but it's a special kind of monster movie.
Yeah, that's like a hyper specification you got there.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like, how precise do you want to go into this?
Wushi says that, like Godzilla counts. So
okay.
that type of monster movies. So we have a yes from Krim. What about you guys?
I mean, it is a yes from me. The kaiju movies, I didn't grow up with them, but I will enjoy them with other people because they're just nice, turn your brain off kind of things that can sometimes be either really awesome or really funny or both. I am a fan of the classic monster movies. Like, wow, that sounded so pretentious coming out of my mouth. But you guys know which ones I'm talking about. Like, like the original the black and white Frankenstein, the original Dracula. That's I love that, especially on Halloween. It's like the perfect time to watch that stuff.
I liked that shit before it was cool.
It's
it's
the kind of stuff, it's like the classics. You want them to stay the classics because those are the ones that inspired you.
Yeah, like me and Krim are just pushing our hipster glasses up our muzzles right now.
Yeah, well, excuse me while I go and get your pumpkin spice latte with the straw.
I'm sorry. No, I only have my pumpkin spice latte from wholly organic local farms, and they're not in season. Thank you very much. I'm going to have my eggplant squash frappuccino. I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna have it on my avocado toast.
Fudge. I meant fudge.
It's
I'm
okay.
Sorry, I'm trying.
You're trying your best. That's all I can ask. Thank you very much.
We need to get a cuss jar for you, babe.
No,
okay,
I'm gonna
Krim.
be broke.
It's okay, Krim. Do not waste your money. Just have some of my avocado toast.
I gotta say though, I actually start using avocado on my hamburgers. That's really good.
It's really good.
The only time I've used avocados was in baby food.
Oh,
that
God.
works.
Yeah, because it's like got this kind of like sweet nourishment that it's actually cheap if you just get an avocado, mush it up, then mush it up with a banana.
The banana.
I'm just going to say it like that. Yeah, and then you mush both of those up together, and apparently it's really, really good for the young ones.
Yeah.
Cool.
It is.
Let's see here.
Okay, we
And-
had. Sorry. Did you say something before we jump to the next
No,
question?
I was gonna say like any specific monster movies. Usually, I'm into zombie movies.
Ah.
Like if I have to be super specific on the monster, but
That counts.
yeah, technically it counts. Like in the most like it's like a subsection. It's kind of, but I think it's kind of my favorite monster movie is technically not even a monster movie. It's called Cabin in the Woods.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and it's such a great deconstruction of horror movies to its most absurd degree that I can't begin to say how much I love it.
It's a horror comedy, isn't it?
Yes, and despite that, it's still terrifying.
Oh yeah, no. If it's a really good horror comedy, it's capable of doing both, and it's kind of an interesting.
Yeah. Does Evil Dead count?
I think it would. I think it
Sure.
would. 'Cause the first one was trying to be serious, even though it came off cheesy. Because that's kind of a trait of horror movies, is that a lot of it was very grassroots and before big budgets came in. So it wasn't the first Evil Dead like trying to be serious, but it just came off with all this B movie charm that they just kind of rolled with it in the sequels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the story I was told about it, at least.
Yeah. The thing about that too, it was so cheap that they couldn't afford stunt people, so all
I
the
heard this.
so yeah, so everybody who was like thrown and shit, those are and stuff. They are those are the real actors, and they're really being pushed into all those objects.
I heard an unfortunate thing that happened to one's feet regarding a broken glass scene.
Oh boy!
No.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Oh boy! No!
Yeah,
no!
I'm just
no!
gonna say
no!
enough said.
Nope.
Yeah,
We're not
enough
going
said.
any further.
Yeah.
Does Hotel Transylvania count?
Well,
Mm.
Technically, that's all the
it's-
classic. That's all the classics put together to make it children friendly and still entertaining.
It's not really aiming to horrify you, though. It's kind of like a quirky comedy with really good animation.
Oh yes,
And
beautiful
it's an Adam
animation.
Sandler movie
Uh-huh.
that isn't terrible.
Right.
For once.
blah 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 blah.
I don't say blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
But I love how it's 3D models, but they move like it's a 2D cartoon.
It almost kind of reminds me of old Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Oh,
Like the way that the eyes are shaped and the way that the characters move. Very reminiscent of like Hammond. Oh, bye.
Hi, Bisky.
It's very reminiscent of that era. I don't know. I like it.
Why do I always type duck? Ah!
Autocorrect.
Why do I always say duck?
That's because you're trying to find out goose.
No.
Um,
Boy.
Hey, hey, Fidstar. Hiyo.
Hey, Faith.
The,
Hey, Faith,
the
what's
kitty's
up?
here. Oh, there's another question from Wooshi. Is that how you say it?
Whooshy. Whooshy. Where?
Whoopsie.
Russell. I'm going Yoshi. Russell.
Oh,
I forgot one. From Noah021 again. Question for everyone. What is your favorite Harry Potter quote? Ooh. Oh. Mine is Hagrid's, don't pull any of his feathers out.
Can I give two?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The first one is, I just love this. I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
Yes, I
That's
have
one.
that on a bag.
And the other one, because it was actually legit profound, and apparently the entire book series was written based on this one line.
Oh.
God.
No, I forget where Rowling said this, but she said, what is it? Of course it's happening inside your head, Harry. But how on earth does that mean it isn't real?
Wow.
And that one line, she thought about that one scene, and a lot of writers will do this. They'll think about a scene, and then they'll build a story around the scene, like, okay, how do I make that line sound profound? And they'll build the entire story about it. And in this case, the line to make it profound had to be put in the last book.
That's really cool, though.
It is. I love that
Unfortunately, do
technique.
not remember that part.
It's
Was
a
it in the
legit
book and
technique.
not in the movie?
No, it's in the movie too. It's in part 2, Deathly Hallows Part 2, I think.
Mm,
I don't want to spoil it for. I know Harry Potter's been out a while, so
yeah.
it doesn't matter. It hasn't been out enough for me to just candidly say it.
Mm.
Let's see, hasn't it been out for what, 10 years now? The last movie?
God, don't make me
Okay.
feel old.
In that case, should I just tell you what movie it's in, just so you can find it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the King's Crossing scene in Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Okay,
What do you
Deathly
mean?
Hallows came out in 2011. It has been 10 years.
Okay, yeah, no, it's the
Yeah.
part where he meets Dumbledore at King's Crossing in the afterlife place, and just before he goes back, he's like, how do I know is any of this even real? It's like, of course, is this in my head or is it real? It's like, of course it's inside your head, Harry. How on earth should that mean it isn't real?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, right, now I remember.
That's a very good
Harry
one.
Potter.
It is.
Harry Potter quote. Harry Potter quote. The only ones that come to mind is like all the meme ones, all the ones that are memes.
I shouldn't have said that. I definitely shouldn't have said that. Or, ridiculous.
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 That's nice.
Let's hear.
Wingardium
I think-
Leviosa.
Yeah, all the because I feel bad because like all of the Harry Potter lines I can think of are like all the memes.
Don't feel bad. I mean, they become memes because they're memorable or they convey something.
Yeah.
Is it bad that they're a meme?
It just means it exists in the collective social consciousness, basically.
Yeah. Let's hear. If I had to think of one that was pretty good.
Oh, my brain. No. Oh. Turn to page 394.
Hang on. Turn to page 394.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
My quote though isn't exactly a quote. It's more like something that it's memorable for. But it's my favorite part of the entire last movie.
Okay. Confused.
Hey,
Isn't that
Aeon gets
Voldemort's
it.
laugh?
Yeah, he's just like, Harry Potter's dead!
It's like, who stuck a wheezing wibble in your mouth?
It's just like they replaced him with one of those squeaky chickens. You see all those memes where he's like, Harry Potter's dead!
Oh no, just imagining a bunch of them just like
Exactly, that's Voldemort's. It's my favourite thing in the entire movie.
Oh, you know what would be even better? Those chickens, but in Voldemort form, and sell them at like $5 a piece.
Oh, like a
I would buy
thing with like a serpent neck.
Oh my god!
If Voldemort was a poultry, he'd be a cockatrice.
This is okay. I can accept that.
Okay, I got
And
one.
I would buy,
I'm
and I
not
will buy
allowed to
10
say
of
it
them.
out loud.
Say it.
Does it have the word bloody? Because that's okay.
No,
Can you type it to me in the chat?
it's fine. I'll just say the censored version.
Okay.
Not my daughter, you bench.
Yeah, Molly.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
That
That's
was that was
Against
Molly
Bellatrix.
Wesley.
yes.
Yeah, Molly Wesley fighting Bellatrix. Yeah.
Best mom in the whole
any
series.
yes, any profound quote that I'm looking up because I'm cheating. It's not our ability to make us who we are, Harry. It's our choices.
Yeah.
That sounds like the thing that you hear in BioShock. A rapture reminder.
Would you? Yeah, actually, reminder. Would you kindly?
Right.
Now I'm getting
Oh,
flashback
God.
from like airports. Like, what's your step? What's your step? Every time you go on those walking.
Oh my God.
belts.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It's just
All
like,
right, we got more questions.
Yeah, we got. Okay. Whooshy. Have any of you seen any shark movies? So, what was the corniest one you have seen?
People will hate me for my answer.
I haven't
What?
seen anyone, so.
I really do think it's Jaws because I look back at a lot of the 70s, 80s horror movies. I understand why they're classics, but
It's so corny.
some of the effects like didn't age well.
Mhm.
Like how if you were like, especially like Poltergeist has this way worse than Jaws does. But like because you can tell like some of the eye party makeup effect, which as a kid looked realistic, but as I grew up and saw like what we're capable of now, I look back and you can tell everything is kind of fake. With Jaws, I do admit I was when I saw it in film studies, I was kind of laughing at the opening scene.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I was laughing at the opening scene because I know it's a shark attack. I'm supposed to find it horrifying, but just the way the person is like bouncing around in the water. No, you know what I'm talking about. It looks ridiculous.
It's like, help me! This thing is
they're just
slashing
like,
at me side to side and spraying out red paint. I'll just
Yeah,
flap
no,
my
no.
arms around.
It was it was like the movement of them like flailing up and down like they're on a roller coaster.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen a shark attack up close, but I'm fairly sure they don't look like that.
A fun fact, there's a reason why you don't see the shark until like the
Yes.
very end of the movie. It's
Yeah.
because because Bruce, that's the name of the shark. He did not he was not very operational, like at all.
Yeah.
There were so many horrible little details that were not working in the water. They wanted the whole thing to operate like it should, but it didn't. So they had to basically keep the machine out of the water and film the scene so little.
Do you want to know why they were having problems?
Why were they having problems?
They built the mechanism for the shark in freshwater, but then they went on location to film, and it's in salt
In
water.
salt water?
So it jammed up all the electronics.
Ah, that sucks.
That's why it
does
wasn't
make
working.
sense.
And it was also another little thing about salt. It kind of has this interesting quality of breaking things down, including the material the shark was made out of.
Oh, fudge.
So
Hi,
there were
baby.
people freaking out, like, how much money do we need to fix this? And then they were worried, like, how do we have the shark movie without a shark? This is oh no.
Right. I have to actually watch Jaws for my my cinema class. It opened my mind up to North by Northwest as well, which was fascinating to watch.
Oh, you mean that's the one with the famous scene where, what is it, Cary Grant is running away from the plane?
Yes, that's exactly the scene.
That almost killed him too.
Yeah, it almost killed him. And then you have the James Bond movie that actually copied that scene, and the director and the person who played James Bond, I think it was Sean Connery at the time, actually almost died from that scene too.
Right. You have to hand it to like old school stuntmen.
Right.
Because nowadays we have all this stuff. Like, it's still a hard job. I'm not like trying to delegitimize it or anything, but like way back in the day, there were like almost no safeties. So I saw this Tumblr reel, and I unfortunately forgot this man's name. He's an amazing man. Where he was in the silent era, so like black and white silent picture movies, and the stuff he had to pull off looks so seamless when he does it. But like in every one of the shots shown in a GIF reel on Tumblr, it was he could have died in every one of those scenes, and he had to get it perfect on the first take, or it legitimately would have killed or seriously injured him. And he just was so good, he just got it right every time.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just thinking the worst one I've ever seen. If any of you have ever watched the film Tora Tora Tora.
Tora. I don't think so.
It's basically the first film adaptation of Pearl Harbor.
Oh.
Yeah, but they had these remote control planes that were designed with live explosives in them to drive into fuel canisters and explode while people ran away. but
Mhm.
as the thing was like remote controlling, one of the wheels snapped off and ran towards the extras as they were running away. So the stunt planes that were on the side just blew up alongside the actors that were running for their lives, and
Oh,
everyone thought,
shit.
"Oh my
I mean,
god, oh my god, this was the best seat thing," because like that was the best kind of thing. Like you had those actors. That
Mhm.
scene was a complete mistake, but it turned out so good they decided to use it.
I still think that,
darn,
yeah,
dang.
that's good. I still
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the best ad lib scene though, like on, you all know what it is. Indiana Jones when he just shoots the sword guy because Harrison
Yes.
Ford was okay. Apparently, in the script for the two people out there who don't know, he was supposed to have a long and drawn out fight scene with that guy, but Harrison Ford had been doing this all day. He was tired and he just wanted to take a break. So, just completely in character, the guy whips out the sword, does the impressive thing, and he just shoots him. And the sword guy just went along with it, and they loved it better than what they had planned, so they just kept it in the movie.
Yay, go sword
Dang.
guy.
Let's hear.
You brought a sword to a
Yeah,
fight. To a full
I
fight.
was right. It was From Russia with Love. It was Sean Connery. The helicopter almost decapitated Sean Connery, and in that same take, the director almost drowned in the ocean when the plane crashed.
Oof,
Oh
boy.
dear.
that's not
Yeah.
good.
But we got more questions, so
Yeah,
we should probably.
From Noah again. Aeon of Dreams. Have you seen Caroline? Because that's one of my favorite creepy movies.
I have, and I do love that movie because I'm a huge fan of Neil Gaiman as a writer. And I'm biased because I love writing, which is cool for it, and Gaiman writes exactly the sorts of stories that I love to read. And what I find also cool about it is, I love what was the name of the anime? Was that a Tim Burton thing or
What are you talking about?
the animation?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
No,
No.
Carolina.
Stop
Caroline?
motion.
Caroline.
It's
Coraline.
Did you just say? Oh, yeah, that was a Tim Burton.
That was okay. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that they got his visuals. But I also love just the story of Coraline as a whole because I heard the interview of why he wrote the story, and his daughter wanted a creepy story, like a creepy children's story. And at first he thought, okay, well, what do you want in the creepy story? And it's like, oh, I want witches. And his daughter listed off like a ton of dark things. So initially, because he was working on a few projects at the time, he went out to the bookstore and found there were no books that fit this category. So he's like, well, I can always take on another project. So he kept in mind what she wanted and wrote the story for her.
Oh, that's nice.
And because it's Neil Gaiman, it's brilliant because he never underestimates you. And so it's such a good story. And I love, even in the film, how they added a lot of visual cinematography to it. Like, especially the scene where you hear the water dripping and other mother is tapping her eye, and then it cuts and she's gone. It's such a minor little scene, but it's so good. All the framing of it and everything.
Right. The funny thing is too that a lot of people will credit Tim Burton with what happened with Nightmare Before Christmas. But if anybody has Netflix now, and they probably have seen this already, there's this the series was called The Toys That Made Us, but now it has expanded to The Movies That Made Us. And since this Christmas, they actually put up the Christmas movies that made us, where they talked about Nightmare Before Christmas. And Tim Burton's idea was there, like it was there, but he didn't have a script. Neil Gaiman actually did all that shiz.
Oh.
He directed.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was saying yes, and I was saying yes in agreement. Like, yes, I'm listening to you.
Okay. He actually did a lot of the writing. He did the directing, and but the writing, technically speaking, most of the writing was actually centered around Danny Elfman's musical score and songs.
Wait, the whole thing was mostly done about Danny Elfman?
Well, no,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say everyone can agree, at least especially Americans, because it's mostly centered around the American style of Halloween. This Is Halloween is probably an anthem to most people's childhood.
Yes,
it is a perfect love letter to a holiday, and it doesn't have the Christmas problem where you might have a legitimately good Christmas song, but it's overplayed. Like I'll
Mhm.
listen to This Is Halloween in the middle of July,
Right?
and it's so good that even like people that you would never think would touch this would do it. Like even Marilyn Manson did a cover of that song.
Yes.
Panic at the Disco did a cover of that song.
Who did it better?
It like touches everyone in such an awesomely nostalgic way.
Right.
It's also, I think, the only film out there that celebrates two holidays at the same time.
I can
Yes.
watch it until Christmas and it's still appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah, I can watch it Halloween, I can watch it Christmas, and it still fits either way.
You know what's
Yay.
hilarious? They actually, like, both Danny Elfman, Tim Burton, none of the people who worked on Nightmare Before Christmas knew how popular it was until I think it was 2010, 2009's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where they were in Japan for the premiere, and they saw a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas merch in like a store, like just in a Japanese store. They were like, "Oh, we didn't know that was here." It was really popular.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the
That's-
most inventive things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. By all means, I recommend everybody watch the Christmas movies that made us. It is highly fascinating to see the journey that Nightmare Before Christmas spent, as well as some of the fun facts that happened with Elf, if anybody remembers Elf.
Oh, Elf that became a classic like real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough, Santa Claus 2 became a classic, but everyone forgot about the first one.
Mm.
How can you forget about the first one? You literally see Santa Claus deflate.
No, I know, but it's also like if you like go on like I know most people don't use cable anymore, but like what most people
Mhm.
remember or most people have in their DVD libraries, this is anecdotal, of course.
Mhm.
They always show the second one, and I don't hear anything about the others, just that I'm aware that they exist.
You killed Santa!
Betrayal!
Also, can we all address that Nightmare Before Christmas is the greatest story about cultural appropriation and some guy's midlife crisis?
Well, I actually heard a very interesting thing about just these movies in general. If you combine it with, what is it, Frankenweenie and Corpse Bride, there's an interesting fan theory that the main character in all those movies is the same character.
I would agree with that if not for the fact that they take place out of order, if that's the case, because Frankenweenie is supposed to take place during like the 50s, which is why it's all black and white and shiz. And see, I'm catching myself. I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
And Corpse Bride is supposed to take place in the Victorian era, and that doesn't track unless he is the doctor.
Well, or the other way to do it, and this is let's introduce the audience to a Reading concept. There's this idea of like a spiritual story or spiritual narrative, which isn't exactly what you might think in the usual sense. It's not like a story about religion or spirituality. What it is it's a story meant to tell a continuous story, even if they seem disconnected, or it's a story about the same thing you seem disconnected. Like this is a really obscure movie, so I really like. If you want hipster credentials, here you go. Have you heard of a movie called The Fountain?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Okay,
Unfortunately, do not.
It was done by the same director who did Black Swan.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Oh,
what's interesting,
God, Black Swan.
So if you want to understand the concept of like the spiritual narrative, The Fountain is a movie with 3 stories, and they all play into each other, and they're in a strange order. But if you pay attention to them and the protagonist, then you actually see that they're all interconnected in some way, and it's kind of. He described the movie as a puzzle that has many ways to get to solve it, but there is only one answer. So you can decide which parts of it are fake or not, or which parts are just an allegory or a story, or maybe you decide all of it is real. But either way, you still get to the end, and it's a story about how there's a conquistador looking for the Fountain of Youth. There's a lot of Mesoamerican symbolism in it. So there's a conquistador looking for the Fountain of Youth, but then there's this modern story of this guy looking to cure an incurable disease from his wife, and then it's the same character, but he's far off into the future and immortal, and he's like sitting in this golden nebula meditating upon his past, and they all play out of order, and sometimes they mash together in like really like I can't
Weird
describe
ways.
it and capture the brilliance. It's just good.
Mhm.
It's just so good.
Let's hear. We do still have more questions, but
This is fun though.
yeah, this is it. Yeah, I think we're just like as adults. I think we've just created our own film club. Like I think that's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's.
Two of the question is the same. Like, how are you guys? Like, how is everyone? And
I'm alright.
Ed, how are you?
I am Ed.
That's great.
It is
Aeon?
the Ed boy.
There
So
is
Ed is
many
an
doors,
emotion?
city boy.
Wait, can I use your name as an emotion now?
Apparently.
How do you feel? I am Edward.
There you go.
I
am Ed. I am Aeon of Dreams.
I know that mood. Haha.
Constantly depressed.
Oh no.
What have I got to be depressed about?
Well, it's not. Depression has nothing to do with your general mood. It has more to do with the chemical imbalance in your brain.
So,
I
like,
wouldn't know.
there's a mood component to it, like because it reaches into that.
Yeah.
Oh, scared Chris popped up.
Hey, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, because it depends
What
on
the hell?
It depends
Toy
on what
door.
causes it. Yeah. Like, it depends on what causes it. Like, sometimes it really is a chemical imbalance. Other times you acquire it from from a traumatic emotional event.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ska vi se, we had a question. I pronounce stuff that's hard. Guilion91. Question for everyone. What is your favorite cryptid?
Cryptids. Oh.
Yes.
Cryptids. Yes.
Interesting.
I do not know what this is. Can you guys
A
please
cryptid
explain?
is cryptids are like they're animals of which are not recognized by modern science. In which case, things like Bigfoot, Loch Ness
Yeah.
Monster, a
Trolls.
chupacabra. Yeah.
Ah,
Imagine. So, hang on. Have you ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender?
are we talking about the only thing that exists, which is the cartoons, or do we talk about the thing that
Yes,
doesn't
we're
exist?
talking about the cartoons.
Well,
Basically,
God.
every creature in there is a cryptid.
Or
Ah.
if you found an example of that, we would consider it one.
Okay,
Ah.
let's see. How about then a jackalope?
No, I
That
was gonna
is
pick
one.
that too, because
No.
I literally made it my persona.
Well,
I was giving Chris like an example.
okay. I don't know what a jackalope is, but we have
Jackalope is a rabbit with antlers.
That sounds potentially dangerous for the animal itself, but okay.
No, I know. Oh, sorry.
No, just the closest thing I think I get to it that I have seen myself, except spiritual stuff, would be the purple bats that we have around here. But I think it's because they do like to fly very low into the lavender. So maybe that's why they turn purple.
Oh.
Because pollen or stuff.
Yeah.
You mind
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna go into. You mind if I go into the jackalope real quick? I only have
Sure.
two. Or 2 or 3. One was. Now I do like jackalopes because first off, I think that just on concept, a jackalope is kind of cute. But then I looked into a lot of the lore and I found them to be genuinely fascinating. In lore, because they originally started as some that came out of like cowboys who were traversing the state of Wyoming, believe it or not. And yeah, it was this idea of like a bunny with antlers. Sometimes a deer, sometimes an antelope. It kind of depends on who you ask. But they're more than just like, and this is true to most cryptids, it's more than just an animal. There was an idea that like they're protective of forests. They can actually speak to you. It was said that if you wanted to hunt one, you had to put stovepipes around your legs or it would eat through your legs.
That's so fucking cool. I mean,
yeah, no, there's this idea that like they could be vicious and like gore your legs up, but they could also like mimic a human voice.
mm-hmm.
And they had like some other little supernatural powers, but they weren't always mischievous to you. Sometimes there's cowboy myths about them, like if you're traveling through the woods with your posse of cowboys and you're singing a song, apparently they'll hop out alongside you and start singing with you.
Mhm.
Like, so if you want to be a Disney princess cowboy, jackalopes will do this with anyone, apparently. But you have to keep an eye on your whiskey because apparently they love to steal that.
That explains Twist to a T.
I mean, I do think it's kind of adorable to just be like a cowboy in 1800s Wyoming, and then suddenly this bouncing little jackalope starts joining in on your song or whatever, and then you both share whiskey together as you traverse the woods.
Oh god!
There's something cute about that.
Now I'm just imagining, like cowboys are just like singing there, and then all of a sudden a jackalope's just got like a stick and a barbershop quartet hat, just going like, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime guy."
I just think it's precious, but
like imagining the bunny from the rabbit from Song of the South.
Or better yet, just Clint Eastwood as a cowboy, because that's such an iconic image.
And then with him,
yeah, and then they're just singing a song with like, I don't know, Christopher Lee, Harrison Ford, and they're like singing a song, and then suddenly some little jackalopes come up behind and then just start joining in.
Right.
Forrest is amazed with music, and it's not even a princess film. Jackalopes are just fun like that. They want everyone to have the experience.
If I had to say mine, it's editor. Do you want to go first, or Chris? Do you want to? Or Chris already said hers.
Yeah,
I mean,
basic trolls.
I can say mine is a creature that technically exists.
Okay.
Unicorn?
Platypus.
Platypus. They thought it was a platypus, but then it was confirmed by science. They literally looked at that thing and was like, "This is BS."
Yeah, it's literally a cryptid. It's literally one of like the only animals that exists in the world that can be classified as a cryptid that actually exists.
That's not true. Originally silverback gorillas were also considered cryptids.
Were they?
Yeah. There's a lot of animals of which get brought back into science where they stop being cryptids and they're just scientifically recognized animals. That's why a cryptid is not necessarily a mythological creature like, say, a dragon or a chimera. They're creatures of which are not recognized by science.
What about an axolotl?
Axolotl is recognized by science.
I mean, were those?
Like, there's some animals that also exist in mythology. It just probably... So, for instance, like, Freya is known for having, like, special cats, like that Norwegian forest cat I brought up earlier.
Yep.
In the mythology, it has they actually do have supernatural connotations and qualities, and they're sacred to Freya. And sometimes supernatural horrors can be disguised as them.
Right.
But that, like, obviously those parts probably aren't literally factually scientifically true.
Yeah.
But Norwegian forest cats do exist.
Yeah. For me, mine is a little more obscure. It's called the bunyip.
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 It sounds
It
adorable.
sounds so
Is it a
cute.
bunny that constantly eats Fun Dip?
Nope. It is. Here's the fun thing, right? A bunyip is a Aboriginal Australian creature, and a lot of people have described it in many different ways. The original form of this creature is a giant starfish.
Aww.
And then somehow later down the line, people were like, "No, the bunyip is not a giant starfish. You know what it is? It's a giant dog. It's like a sea dog. But it looks like a giant bear." And I just find it fascinating how different everybody makes it look. There's one artist that actually decided to make a piece based on all the descriptions of what it looks like, and it's hilarious to me. This is what the person decided to draw based on all the accounts.
Ooh, no, that's a cool drawing though.
Oh yeah, I
think
think
it's very tiny.
No, it's supposed to be ginormous. It's like
No, I mean the picture's very tiny.
Oh yeah, the picture is tiny. I couldn't find one bigger, but it's It literally just looks like when you bring it up, it literally just looks like
Nope. Nope.
it,
Nope.
it looks like the melted. It looks like that melted clock picture, like the melted.
From Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can post the link in the stream chat if you want to, because I
Okay.
don't want to put that on screen. That was creepy.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I know some other.
I just want to point. I just want to
I
say about
apparently
that.
can't.
I just want to say something. You know, like when you are like having a wash or something, and then a piece of your jewelry drops down the sink, but when you pick
Yeah.
out it's got like stuff hanging off of it.
Uh
That's literally what that thing looks like.
Oh,
huh.
It's like you dropped your watch down the sink and it's just got moldy and old matty hair stuck to one end of it. It's just like,
Right.
oh god, what is that? Oh, I'll make a creature out of that.
I mean, sure. Believe it or not, there are some cryptids that you find out are actually like more mundane things. Like
Mhm.
a jackalope, for instance, was based off of jackrabbits who actually had the horns were actually tumors. Of the
Oh,
very-
really?
Yeah, it was a particular type of cancer where they would grow these horn-like tumors, and I've seen pictures of
Oh,
it, and it actually they really do look like horns.
that's really cool.
Yeah, or kelpies are actually just shallow water seaweed that you get tangled in
Oh.
and drown. But but the horse shape is because sometimes seaweed. I've been around, I lived in the Great Lakes, so seaweed can sometimes take on a pseudo animal shape, or they're like clouds. You can see shapes in it. So
Mm.
we had this idea of like the horse that drags you into the water when it's really just shallow water seaweed.
Right. Okay. That's cool though.
Well,
Yeah.
then you also have
They are
the,
right.
Sorry.
No problem.
I just discovered one of the people in the chat just said a bunyip was in MLP.
I don't remember that. Was it?
It was the purple thing from Point of View, like the dog creature.
Let's hear bunyip. Let me. Oh yeah, I remember that. And everybody was like, that doesn't exist. Twilight being the way she is. Gosh darn it,
But that's
Pinky.
cute though. That's so cute though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a cute version.
But you can tell how it's just so weird. It originally was a starfish, and then people started making it into a dog or a bear, and it was weird. But I kind of find it fascinating.
Yeah, because they did already show jackalope, as far as I remember, in
They
one of the
do,
Fluttershy
yes.
episodes.
Yes, it's bouncing around in her little or I think her heritage site. No, her her
Under the
animal
bridge.
sanctuary. Yeah, her
Oh,
animal
yeah, it
sanctuary
was.
has a few of them bouncing around, and I think you just see them kind of just vibing in the Everfree Forest a few times too.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there was that really detailed one in
Philly
the Equestria Girls movie.
Oh. There was?
But yeah. It's cute though. It's cute.
Yeah, very cute. That
It's
would
so
be cute.
it's
the
so
only
cute in
it looks like the
comparison.
only version of Angel Bunny that looks more evil.
I'm looking at the jackalope disease that you were talking about earlier. That looks painful. Those poor things.
Yeah, no, remember those are tumors, but the ones that you see mounted on, like you see mounted on like walls in like certain
Yeah.
remote regions of the U.S. That was what's weird is that the myth started in Wyoming, and then in South Dakota, a hunting lodge did that just
Mhm.
as a Victorian curiosity, and it just caught on with people. So they just, that's how it became popular. Though I find it cool that it started in a place that most people don't pay attention to. Like outside of my own
Wyoming.
family, I know no one who, outside of my family, I don't know anyone from South Dakota or anyone who knows anyone from South Dakota, and especially I don't know anyone who knows anyone from Wyoming.
Right. Oh, these poor things. Like I can't stop looking at these things. I actually have to go. Sorry.
Yeah. You and the editor has to go to bed to sleep and do the sleep stuff.
Well,
Well,
Krim doesn't have to because she's American.
yeah. And Americans don't have a bedtime.
They don't.
Especially this one. If sleep wasn't a thing, I would wake up the next morning and she'd just be like, her eyes would be watering. It's like, babe, did you not go to sleep last night? And it's like, I don't need to. The screen needs me.
Chris, are you American?
First of all.
First of all, I'm not wrong.
First of all, yes, you are. Second of all, I pass out more frequently than you do. Don't even.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like
pass
one of the
out? That
times
doesn't
when
sound
we
good.
were watching one of the times when we were watching a series together, and it was like episode 3. And the problem with Krim is when she gets comfy, she gets very, very comfy. And it's like we were on call, one of these new series that we were watching. This came to episode 3, and I was like, "Okay, you ready for episode 3, babe? Babe,
don't.
babe."
Mm.
And then, she's asleep again.
Don't call me out in public like this. Dang.
I call you out, woman.
Betrayal.
I feel betrayed. Betrayed. Okay, bye. Bye.
I will betray you even more. I have to wear earplugs.
You're such a D.
I know, and I love you.
No.
Mwah.
Don't forget, babe,
guys are
I'm
so
British.
cute.
We have bad humor like this.
Yeah. Just like your teeth.
Yeah.
I mean,
got. Sorry.
I will accept this.
what?
Yes, Chris. Go.
The editor, before you go, most of you guys in chat have probably seen, I'm gonna regret this, has seen The Great Mouse Detective. And
Oh my god.
our dear the editor is a very impressive voice actor, I would say. So before he and his dearest takes the skedaddles, could you try to say a few words or even try to sing in Rottevik's voice? And I'm just
Radigans.
Radigan.
I'm not singing. I'm not good enough trained for that. But it's just like yeah. So we were all watching The Great Mouse Detective, and I started saying a load of things as Vincent Price's voice.
Oh boy.
And we said a load of things just like, oh, by the way, Basil, I just love your disguise. One would hardly recognize you. And one of my favorite lines, and I've got a group of people that can back me up on this. Mad Munchkin was watching it with us, and she was laughing her head off when, for all one of you in the world that hasn't watched Great Mouse Detective yet, when Ratigan starts reading out some demands, I started hearing my own voice that literally made Mad Munchkin crack up laughing. It was just like, and now I have a few changes myself. Big Ben will now be changing its name to Huge Gregory.
Oh god.
Yeah, Chris
gosh,
is
darn
not
it.
very happy right now. Does the Chris need to get upset? You know what
It's so
happens
creepy!
when someone upsets me.
It's
Oh,
so
Crazy,
scary!
my little thing.
Die!
Is somebody not happy
Die!
with the
No!
little tree?
I'm not listening anymore! I'm at my limit! No!
You're the one that asked me to do this, though.
My dear.
No!
Yes, it's okay.
Oh.
You don't have to. You don't have to be afraid.
This turned into a Chris-tastrophe.
No!
Basil! Anyway, alright, I'm
Somebody
gonna
saying,
head out, guys.
Vincent Price has come back from the dead.
Gosh darn it. Alright. I'm
Okay.
gonna head out, guys.
Yeah,
I gotta pop off bed now as well for my
yeah.
work
Yes.
tomorrow.
Thank you
Because
so much.
you get grumpy in the morning if you don't get enough sleep.
I do not get grumpy.
Don't lie to yourself.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Wiedersehen. Bye bye, Basil.
Okay.
Goodbye so soon. But and gonna stop before I get copyrighted. Bye.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm the one that's going to get copyrighted.
Or me, because it's my stream.
I'll put it like this: they can be very strict.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
you
didn't
two-
Angry Joe get? I was gonna say, didn't Angry Joe get copyrighted for like 3 seconds of audio once?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Poor bloke.
It was 10, but yeah.
Oof.
I swear it was only 3.
That's
I
gonna
don't
take
know.
a
All right.
lot of dedication. But you
Bye,
guys
everybody,
go. Night,
And thank you so
night.
much for letting us be on the stream.
Thank you so much for joining. Hope you both have a good night's sleep or try to get sleep, please. Pretty please.
I will not. I refuse.
But please.
But thank you for caring about my well-being. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
I promise
Nej,
nothing.
gå väck, gå väck. Meh. No, bad rat. Go away. Meh.
What was that?
I'm bigger than
What
the cat.
did you call me? I am not a rat. Silence.
Ah, no!
Oh my god! I turned her into a little pig. Oinky oinky, Crizzy.
That would be an even worse problem if you were a rat, because a pig will eat anything, and you are way smaller than the pig.
Oh my god! Since I can do a Vincent Price impression, my god, I'm even more closely connected to the Skaven than I thought. Let's face it, I use Warp Stone and I can do the voice acting of a rat.
Oh my gosh. Okay, breathe. Go to sleep now. Thank you. Sorry, everything. Oh my gosh. Go sleep. Bye.
Alright, nighty nights.
Night, night.
See you.
Oh my gosh, I can breathe. So that was the amazing Crimson Glow and the editor MLP, or as he is on Twitter, the Edita Fenrica. Oh boy. Aeon, you're still with me?
I am.
Yay. Oh boy. We had a question before they skedaddled.
We did.
It's for me. How much are you into Source Filmmaker animation? I think Source Filmmaker animation is very awesome. It has a lot of possibilities and can be a lot of fun, but I myself have not tried Source Filmmaker yet. I'm thinking of trying it later and hopefully have some fun. What about you, Aeon? Do you have any experience with Source Filmmaker?
I don't actually. On occasion I'll enjoy some funny stuff, like especially some years ago, I used to regularly watch like a lot of artists like Kitty0706 when he was still around. May he rest in peace, by the way.
Yes.
I think there were probably a few others I watched. Like the most recent one I saw was The Heavy is Dead, which is a joke meme video. I'll sometimes look at some art or SFM art on some occasions recently, but that's about as far as I go into it now. And one of our content creators, Inverted Shadow, films in it. It takes a while, but he does really good fluid animation in it.
Yeah, I've seen some of his work.
Yeah. I had to apologize to him at BronyCon because even though I wasn't part of that, I apparently stole the show, even though I was only in there for like the past 2 seconds of the ending. So I gave him, in a jovial way, I gave him an apology at BronyCon for stealing his thunder, because a third of the comments were just about me. And I was only in there for 2 seconds.
Well, I think stuff happens that happens, and the important part is how you handle it afterwards. If he is a decent human being or pony.
Oh, no, it wasn't a real like thing, or there wasn't any real heat between us. It was just like a joke.
Okay. That is something else.
But yes, thank you for the advice. It does help me get through some bad days sometimes.
Happy.
Even if you don't always know it.
Well, I'm happy I can be of help to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Ska vi köra? We have another question. Snowy Motorcycle. Question for Chris and Aeon. What is your favorite pony on My Little Pony? Favorite pony would be Granny Smith. What about you, Aeon?
If I just had to pick one, Autumn Blaze.
Autumn Blaze? Who's that again?
That was the Kieran.
Ah, yeah, but she's not a pony. She's a Kieran.
Oh, I still count it as a pony.
Ah, okay.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah, sure. And I see Final Sight had fun. You remember how Final Sight usually puts something over my cutie mark?
Yeah. Who's
Yeah.
your sponsor today?
Oh, guess it's three-letter word. Can you guess?
I can't because my mind immediately went to very particular places, but go ahead.
Source
Oh,
filmmaker.
SFM. I thank you, Based Gaben, for blessing Chris with some of that sweet steam sugar money.
Oh boy, is this Source filmmaker free?
It is.
Yeah,
I
so
think.
what did they make money on?
Oh, they just make money from the client itself. Valve is swimming in it, I imagine.
Ah. Ja, men då så.
Do you have any other questions?
Not for now. So, one thing I have heard people being curious about is that you do have your normal pony look, but you also have your succubus. Succupony? Succubus? Succupony?
Succubus. I won't correct people. They say succubus just because people know that more. Technically, he's an incubus, but
Incubus.
because
Okay.
yeah, because they're the same thing but male and female, but they can swap from one to the other, in their traditional lore. But it's funny enough because of that. Aeon is actually not allowed to have a split dark side personality because it would contradict his character because of the incubus form.
Ah.
Because in all seriousness, it's like the incubus form is just more like a focused part of aspects of his personality. But because a big thing about Aeon's thing is accepting inner darkness, there's no division because he's not rejecting pieces of himself. So he can't. In writing, it would make no sense for him to have a split dark side because he acknowledges it's just him.
Ah. Okay. So, how did you come up with the design, per se? Like, why did you choose the type of horns, and why did you choose I guess all incubus has wings?
I sort of wrote my own lore for this particular one because demon ponies aren't a new thing, but everyone operates on some different rules. I do have I have internal rules for like how the color is decided, how you might be able to initiate someone into becoming one. But obviously, given the nature, I'm not going to go into any of the not safe for work details about that.
Yeah, thank you.
But there actually was sort of a thing like the style of you just have a style of dual horns, something that speaks to like sort of a northern, typically northern horned god symbolism.
Ah, okay.
And the wings are because the draconian wings are. The idea is that something of the dark that has wings is able to partake in heaven and earth, and represents everything you don't know.
Okay, interesting.
So a lot of the symbolism I actually did think about it quite a bit. And I kind of just had like a Sith eyes idea for like what color your eyes turn. So I suppose it would be possible for other incubi or succubi to develop like they might have red eyes, they might have yellow eyes, maybe they have purple eyes.
Wait, what's the difference between incubus and succubus again?
It's literally just the gender, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
kind of a thing where it's like they can swap at will between the other, so to speak.
Oh,
At least according to their lore. But for the most part, I don't always correct people because I know what people are trying to say anyway. Typically,
yeah.
when they mean that.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, a lot of the visual symbolism is set out like again, no details, but there's a way to determine like what color your horns and wings are supposed to be by how I wrote it. But some personality traits would be like you can't reject. You have to acknowledge everything that is you as part of you, because the way you get a dark side personality, like say a Thunderblight or something, is that you are rejecting that part of you.
Oh.
So, so part of this symbolism I have is you have to acknowledge it and sort of own it. And that's one of the requirements, so to speak. And it was fun thinking about the rules for that.
Have you ever come across anyone else in the fandom that has something similar to yours, except Midnight Sonata? I think she was something.
She is a demon pony too. Our lores are different, and she doesn't and she defines herself as a different sort of demon. I basically view everyone's demon pony OCs as being somewhat different, because if you ask them like, "Oh, you have a demon pony, well, how does that work?" and they're all going to give you different rules about how they wrote theirs. Anyone who reads TV tropes read our demons are different. Because everyone can write them differently, or they're basing it off of a different lore or a different tradition. So I don't usually view us as being of the same kind. So like, I'll just acknowledge that there's a lot of demon OCs, but I don't think of them as being like that, because they probably all have a different idea of what hell looks like. They have a different idea of like, are you born one or do you become one? If so, how do you do that? It's actually a lot more diverse.
Okay. Also, Rotvik asks, wouldn't Succubee and Incubee be compatible to the evil changeling and the good changeling, respectively? Blah, blah, blah.
No, not really. Because first off, incubi and succubi is just more or less, it's more or less like a gender pronoun
Yeah.
for a various type of vegetable demon. It has nothing to do with their moral affiliation, to be honest. As for good and evil changelings, I know the comparison of changelings is there, and superficially, I suppose people might see it, but what is it? The thing that makes them not the same thing is the thing that makes incubi and succubi so dangerous or so delightful, depending on whether or not they like you, is that they understand you better than you do. So if you read a lot of like the darker lore, if you go to like a place, if you talk about a place like Golakab in Cleathoff, which I know I'm just spewing a bunch of word salad at this point, they are either the most pleasurable thing to encounter or the most horrifying thing, because they understand you better than you do.
Hmm.
So believe it or not, so there's this idea that in hell, like, they're the most brutal tormentors,
Oofda.
but they can also be some of the most tough. They can also be some of the most helpful allies, again, if they like you.
Okay. Huh. So, I think you explained it before, but I don't remember. What is your cutie mart exactly?
Oh yeah, it's the Greek letter phi, because I was originally just into philosophy, and that's usually used as a symbol of that. But
Okay.
when I got more into occultism, it still had a meaning and it still worked, which I thought was just perfect.
Yeah.
I picked the right thing, clearly. And it can refer to the great. It refers to the golden ratio, but it can also refer to pursuit of the great work, or someone who worships the goddess Aeon Sophia, who's the Aeon of wisdom.
Ah, okay. And I now just realized that I forgot to ask Krim and the editor about their OCs and stuff. So hopefully, if I get them on the show again, I can ask them. But Luigi is wondering, who is your favorite philosopher anyway?
Oh, I don't even have to think about that. Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche from Germany. He's the like I really love him more now that I actually like understand him, because he is a philosopher that the joke I tell friends who like to study philosophy is you think you understand him in high school. So like the high school Nietzschean quotes him, but they don't understand what any of it means. They probably own some of his books, but either didn't read them or they just don't get them. Like especially Thus Spoke Zarathustra. That's a really hard book to penetrate into. But I love his philosophies and how he would relentlessly address the darker topics, or darker topics like nihilism and things like that, and he would yeah, he was very opinionated on them, but you could at least see where he was coming from, and he had almost a mystic quality to him.
Oh.
So he could talk about the dark things, but he was also looking for a solution to all of that. As for my other favorites, just to list a couple, I love Viktor Frankl. Like, if you're suicidal, I'm not a doctor, but if you're suicidal, read Viktor Frankl, or depressed, read Viktor Frankl, because he is one of the few that can actually. He's got this slim book of only 100 pages called "Man's Search for Meaning."
Can you can you post his name in the chat, so if people want to Google him, they know how the name is pronounced? Thank you.
That's not a typo, by the way. It is literally spelled that way.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I asked you if you could type it out for people.
Yeah. No, but he developed something called logotherapy and had the idea that you're not actually seeking to be happy, you're seeking for something meaningful. But his philosophy is really, really good because it still works even if you're in a horrible situation. And he survived Auschwitz, and part of the reason he did was because and this is what I really love about him, is that his philosophy still works in the real world, as opposed to others where they'll make a philosophy, but they're what we call an armchair philosopher. So it doesn't when you actually apply it to the real world, it doesn't work. But Frankel's works so well that it got him through a very horrifying time in existence. No, it's really incredible. And the last one is probably Jung, because I just love how he like everything about the conscious, the unconscious, and the archetypes is just so cool. Anyway, that's my long answer.
I don't know a lot of name-on philosophers, but the only one I know about that has some good quotes, at least, is Confucius. But I don't know if he's a philosopher.
Oh, he is.
Okay, yay, I know one. Well, I know two now because I know you.
Oh, thank you. Chris, if you're really into Eastern philosophers, he's a British guy actually, but he mastered it to a degree. Alan Watts.
Oh.
He is absolutely incredible, and he made Eastern philosophy accessible to the Western mind, because there's a lot of culture in those metaphors, but he explains them very plainly and in a way that everyone just like gets. And his background, I'm really biased for, is Zen Buddhism, which is my favorite type of Buddhism, so I'm biased.
That's fair. So, one thing I will like, people have different coping mechanisms, but if you are to have like a small snack just to turn your day around, what would be your choice of snack? Like for me, it would be strawberries. Like
turn my day around.
So it doesn't need to be a big turnaround, just like something to give you just that little bitty touch to make it a little bit better.
If I was to list it as like snack food or something, admittedly most of what I eat would be heated up with a stove, but sometimes I'll get myself like a small candy bar of some sort, like usually Twix.
Oh, okay.
if I have access to it. I will sometimes eat to turn my mood around because usually if it's... Oh, thank you. Thank you. Speaking of food,
It's hot.
yeah, oh yeah, I'll definitely wait a moment. Thanks, Bliss. So, I usually eat anyway because I'm under the impression that, like, if my mood is tanking, I probably need to eat something.
Mm.
And it usually does help. I was probably missing something or another in there, but I'm not terribly picky. Though lately I've started to avoid caffeine.
Okay. Isn't that hard since you
It's
like coffee?
not quite. Like I'll drink some in the morning, so because I was trying to wean myself off of it after consuming it large amounts. So I'll drink like one in the day, and that's fine, or one in the morning, and that's totally fine.
Okay.
And then just not have any more. It used to be that I would have caffeine between all my work breaks, so I was having like 300 to 500 milligrams of caffeine a day. But then it started giving me these weird headaches, so after I went past a certain amount, so I stopped doing that.
Yeah, that sounds fair. When I'm just gonna say that when your food is ready to be eaten, we can end the stream and raid somebody, so that you can enjoy your food in peace. Because, like everybody else that cares about you, we want you to enjoy your food. Just so
Thank
you know.
you.
So let me know when you're ready to eat. Okay.
I have to wait for it to cool down first.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions? Luigi is wondering, what are you eating, Aeon?
Bliss made me an egg sandwich with bacon.
Ah, nice.
Thank you again, Blissy Boo.
Hugs to Blissy, she is awesome and best alicorn, at least in my opinion.
Chris gives you a hug. I'm sort of eyeballing her because we're like 10 feet from each other most of the time. So I've been watching her draw on her computer for a project that I'm not going to spoil.
Yeah, no spoils, no spoilers. Respect the hype, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently Blissy is getting hugs and cookies as well.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
The audience is adoring you in various fashions and ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable lightning bliss noises.
No, we're just playing around.
Okay. So sure. Yeah. If your OC wasn't gonna be a pony, what would it going to be?
If it wasn't a pony, that's difficult. I suppose, given everything I know now, probably a changeling.
Like the old one or the good ones?
It probably would have had to have started out as the old one because I got into the fandom in 2012.
Ah, fair.
Like, so we didn't have any of the new ones yet, and I probably would have gotten an update to it by the time. What is it? Yeah, I probably would have gotten it updated by the time we had the reformed changeling thingy.
Okay, so your reformed changeling design, what colors would you have gone with?
I probably would have kept the same.
Like all the bluish colors?
Yeah, because I found I really like that. I was also a really big fan of like forest color. So if it wasn't this, it would have been like a green, blue, and maybe the eyes still like a sun color just to represent that. Because I love like forest coloring.
Yeah, that's true.
Your shoes are in the way.
Those aren't mine.
I think Lars gave those to you. You don't want them.
If he did, I forgot about that. Sorry. So I'd have to say probably a changeling would fit me probably the most. It also doesn't help that in NLP, like, I'm glad that they started fixing the other species as the show went on, but like they didn't really make them all that appealing when they first appeared because it seemed like every other species you encountered would have been like some sort of bully or a bit reckless, which probably doesn't help the decision making all that well.
Oh, okay. We got a question from Noah. Question for Aeon. What is your favorite SpongeBob musical song? Mine is Just a Simple Sponge. I'm just like, SpongeBob has a musical?
Yeah, I've not seen the SpongeBob musical.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's fair. Ska vi se. Have you ever tried playing any instruments yourself, or?
Oh yeah, actually.
Oh yeah. Do tell.
Yeah, if you could ever imagine it, I actually once knew how to play the flute.
Like the what type of flute? There's many flutes.
Oh, I suppose it would be considered a band flute. It's the one made of brass, and it looks like a rod.
The one you have on the side, or the one straight in front of you?
You hold it to the side, yeah.
Okay, so it's the fancy black and silver one. Okay.
Oh no, that's a clarinet.
Ah.
At least over here, the ones that I'm referring to, you hold them to the side, and they're made of brass.
I think I need to Google it.
Also, after this, my dinner has cooled to perfection.
Okay, I found it. Yep. Okay, then.
I used to be more, but just to wrap that up, I used to be more musically inclined, but unfortunately, I'm now 13 years rusty.
Yeah, that's fair. Snowy, sadly, Bliss is not in this stream, so I cannot, out of respect for her, not asking her any questions. But yes, Aeon, you can ask Aeon what's his favorite My Little Pony song before we stop the stream.
Probably a Kieran tale, just because I love the story it tells.
That's fair. Nice. So, out of the people I'm following currently, Fiora is the only one streaming. So, I think we will be, what's it called? Rating her with. Do you have an idea for a hashtag, Aeon?
Aeon sends his regards.
There you go. Aeon sends, and please let me type this right, sends his regards.
Yep, you spelled it right.
Yay! Huzzah! I managed to do something. Okay. Start raid. Let's see. I'm usually not very good at this, so let's hope it goes. And a 1 and a 2, and you know what to do. Is nobody joining? Come on, guys. We can't raid without anyone to raid. We're 16 people. If you accidentally clicked out of the raid, try to click on it again to join the raid. Aww, sad. Sad. Come on, guys. We gotta send her the Aeon sends his regards. We can do it. Well, the time is about to run out, so if nobody is joining the raid, then it's no point in raiding. It's you don't have to send it in this chat. You have to join the raid itself up in the corner. Mama Punk, thank you for trying at least, but it seems like it won't work. But if you feel like you want to check her out, Fiora the Tank Girl is the name, and you can still send the hashtag if you want to. Thank you, Aeon, for joining, and I hope you enjoy your food. Do you want to say your goodbyes?
Goodbye, everyone, and good to see you again.
Everybody stay safe, stay kind, and stay brownie. Bye!